start. All right. Oh, maybe this time it even worked right away. That's great. Or maybe I'm saying it too early. We'll see. Okay. So thanks everyone who came in time. And I will just go on straight into it, right? Let me take my clicker here. So this is going to be a super short one. I'm not going to talk a lot. Just want to say thank you and want to do a little bit of announce about what we're doing, right? Welcome back. Have you seen anyone? Is there people coming? No? That's okay. Is there somebody in the entrance, right? Yeah, perfect. So I just started a second ago, and the stream is going, so that's good. So this is the thing that you've probably seen here already. We just want to make like a platform that people can come and talk about different things that they found important. And that's what we are doing and we're trying to do. Although maybe summertime is a little bit downtime, but we are hoping that we gain some traction and people start coming. And actually we got a couple of people from different companies to join us and talk already, which is great. And in the future, hopefully, it's going to be more and more of them. And we actually, this time, I have a new small announcement, which is our Telegram channel. That was just started like a day ago or so. So for the future, I think this is the first place where we're going to put all the announcements. So you can just search this in Telegram if you want to follow us like very quickly, if you want to see the presentations, links, and everything. You can just go to Telegram. I think Telegram will be in the future the first place, even though right now our Facebook is a bit better with like 30, 40 people. Oh, now the sound is back. And also we have LinkedIn, but I think that would be in this order. So our Telegram will be our main platform after we gain like 50 or 100 people there, right? And then the rest we will do announcements of events and things like that. So there's a question for you guys. You see it on the screen, but I'll say, if there would be a newsletter, like basically a tech newsletter, would you be interested to join? Is there two hands, 3 hands, 4 hands? Okay, oh, that's almost all audience. So yes, that's great, because right now it's not yet decided. We might go 2 ways. We either will go to making our own separate newsletter, or we also might join with a partner. We have a partner that have like 15,000 subscribers, but we are yet uncertain about that. So I'm trying to see if there is interest on that. So we can also do that, and probably we can even do different newsletters, one for the events and one for like just general news. But we will see for that, and I'm happy that you are you agree to that. And by the way, have you watched any of our YouTube streams? Do you know that we do the YouTube streams? Is there anyone who watched? I think you watched. Is there anyone else? No? But you can definitely watch us on YouTube. So it should be always itmeet.top/live. Right now it might not yet work, but it will work in 10 minutes, I think, or so. After the second speech, it will start working, should start working. So this is basically what we're doing. And the whole idea of this is to make networking and more connections. If you've seen my first presentation about Norway being pushed away from being like in a bleeding edge of development, of IT and interesting technologies, pushed back for some time, for last, I don't know, 5-10 years, maybe more, with Opera software and Trolltech and Qt and all that. You can watch it on YouTube, my first stream, I think. And I would like to change it because I think Norway is a great hub for technology, and not only technology, but any interesting topics. There is like nice facilities like this one where we're in that allows us to basically have a nice talks about the topics that we think are important. So that's what we are giving you an opportunity. We're giving this platform, basically. And yeah, the like very long-term goal, I always mention it because it's a very important goal for me. That's like making a framework for cities of the future, right? So that should be a lot of different tools put in a box. And from this box, when you're making a city or where you're making a location, maybe you're building some skyscraper or just your personal house or whatever you're building, you could just take from the framework, you can take the tools that you'd like to use, right? And then with these tools, you can improve your workflows. And these tools most likely will be crypto tools. So we're gonna talk more about that later. So I'm not gonna take much time right now. And as I already said, we really need volunteers. So if you wanna help, it would be really, really nice. Especially we need photographers, we need videographers, we need a cameraman or basically just somebody who will watch over the stream. So we need a couple of people to join us, so it will be a little bit easier for us to set up these meetings. And then when we have more people, we can also do them more frequently. So the original goal was to increase frequency as far as we can. But first step would be to go, instead of once a month, to go twice a month. That's the first step. But we will not reach this step until we have volunteers who can help us with setting things up. So if you can volunteer, or if you know someone who would like to join just to listen to our talks, or to join as a volunteer, please send them links and let them know about us. So there's information in this section on the website. It's always like, human-friendly URLs. I'm trying to keep them everywhere. So it's sort of easy to remember if you remember the top-level domain. Yes, and that's what I just said. We need these people to do what we're doing. And it would be super great if you would like to join. So, yeah, I'm not going to stop on this anymore. But once again, want to say thanks to our partners, which is this nice house where we're in. Thanks Ribble and Web3 Fjord. Thanks Artem and the Web3 Fjord team. And also to our media partners, Daily Scandinavian. Tor, thanks for coming and for giving a speech in a couple of minutes. And of course, thanks Nuke for our streaming equipment that we use to stream our events. That's super cool. And we are hoping that this slide will become more occupied with different companies in the future, right? So we can provide a better quality experience out of these events in the future. So that's part of the plan. Yes, and basically, all the socials now, I think, I'm hoping. And yeah, Telegram, once again, new Telegram. We're on Meetup. All of this is on Meetup, so you can find us through Meetup. Who found us through Meetup, by the way? 4. Nice. Okay. So I guess that's great, and we will always present on Meetup as well, but we also have different socials. And in the future, I'm really hoping that we can pull up, either use a different platform for venues, like online platform, I mean, or maybe if Meetup improves, because Meetup is really, really problematic. If you have been hosting anything, you know that. Not gonna stop on that too much. And that's it. As I said, it's gonna be quick. So we're just gonna move to the next one right away, right? So I want to welcome Tor from Daily Scandinavian for our second speech about marketing. Yes, please do that, and I will put your presentation up. You don't need the keynotes, right?
It's okay.
So if
For introduction is good.
Clicking. That's a bit tricky. Okay, that's good now. Clicker is here, and you click 2 times down, I think.
Okay. Can you hear me? That's good. Thank you, Dan, for inviting me to this event. And I'm not a tech guy. I'm a marketing guy. Marketing communication is in my genes. But I thought ET guys also need marketing. So I said to Dan, let me give you some ideas on the principles of marketing. And I said, there is 4 Ps. But he has extended it to 7 Ps. But I will concentrate on the
I'm sorry.
4 one. And let me first introduce myself. I am a marketer from several years. And I started Daily Scandinavian 10 years ago, mainly to keep my second language, English, intact. And secondly, to experience Scandinavia and promote Scandinavia. And the 4 P's is product, place, price, and promotion. And let's start with the product. In this case, I will say the product is, for instance, a crypto academy. How do we market a crypto academy? And this is quite interesting. And product. How can we different? How our academy, I'm quite sure, has a lot of competition. How should we be better than other academies in crypto promotion? Let's take another example from the fashion world. You have probably heard about Polo and Ralph Lauren. How could he be different from other brands? What was his image? It was Polo, the British aristocracy. But anybody know his real name? Ralph Lauren was a Jew living in America and had a name Ralph Lipschitz and had a name, it wouldn't have given the same image. So he took the name Ralph Lauren, much better for British aristocracy. And the image is important. Credibility is important. For instance, back to the academy example. To promote an academy in a proper way, you need credibility. When I was a young marketer, not so young, but younger than today, I wrote a book about selling. Sell More is the title. It was issued on one of the major Norwegian publishers. After I had written it, I got a lot more credibility. I was the same guy, but after having published a book, I got more customers because I have always been a one-man band, so to speak. So credibility is important. Other ways to do it is how do I get back?
There is another arrow nearby.
Well, okay, I can tell a little about Daily Scandinavian and how I want to develop it. It was about to promote Scandinavian attractions, destinations, and issues. Then 2 years ago, I met an Indian guy, an expat in Norway, who told me, if I had known Daily Scandinavian 8 years ago when I arrived at Norway, there are so much information. So you should concentrate on expats. So from 1 year ago, much of my content is about expats in Scandinavia. And what do I do? And who are expats? It's 3 groups, actually. It's business, owners, and employees. It's education, it's teachers, and students. And it's refugees which have their problems, but Norway needs them actually.
Oh, okay.
And I promote 3 I's. Is information.
Yeah, finally.
You have that on Daily Scandinavian,
guys.
2,600 articles.
Yeah, I think I see it.
Inspiration,
6 people are
you can
watching.
find a lot of
Nice.
inspiration on Daily Scandinavian, the same articles.
Thank you for waiting.
And the third
I
one,
hope you can
most
hear me
complicated,
clearly. Let me check that.
integration.
Yes, I think you can hear me clearly.
Integration is difficult.
Do you see the video, guys?
But to be integrated in a new country, the most important thing is language. You have to learn language. There are many ways to learn language. You can go to school. There are at the public library in Oslo, you have language cafes. Or one idea is very good. You can start to read Norwegian comic strips. If you go to a second-hand store, you might buy something called illustrated classics, Robinson Crusoe, etc. In Norwegian, it's a good way to pick up some new Norwegian words. That was just one example. About communication. Back to the academy. I had a professor when I studied in England called Richard Dawkins. He has written a book and penned a word called meme. He was a marketer and a biologist. Strange combination, but very good. And he thought, it's important to make short words getting into people's brain, easy to remember, and easy to communicate. For instance, the slogan, "Let's do it." Who is that? Yes, Nike. That's one example. Say it easy. You have even words. To hoover. It's a brand, actually, but it's become a verb, hoover. So if we could say something about the crypto academy in few words, and everybody, this is the academy we want to attend if you want to learn about crypto. This is very important, and an example. I have been in the communication business for several years. I was hired by companies to tell their stories. I'm a storyteller because I early found out that telling stories, editorial stories, are more trustworthy than paid advertisements. But to tell stories, you need to be vibrant. There is a formula called AIDA. It stands for attention. First of all, you have to get attention from the audience. After getting attention, you have to create interest. You have to tell something interesting. About the crypto, what is crypto? Why is the future of crypto? Is it dangerous? You have to tell some compelling stories. The D stands for desire. When you have created interest, then you have to get the audience to be interested in or have a desire to go to the school or to invest in crypto, desire. And the last I the last A, is action. None of these three things matters if people don't act. They have to act. They have to subscribe or whatever. So that is important. Push or pull in marketing. Most marketing is pull, to pull people into shops, to buy merchandise. The other way around, push is, that's why breweries, for instance, in Norway you cannot advertise for alcohol. So you have to get the merchandise into the shop and push the people in there. There are two ways of marketing, just some examples. And public relation is what I am mostly, that's my field actually. Writing articles for magazines. But today I experienced something special. I was at a museum and I was at a coffee bar. Both places, they were expats serving me. And we started to communicate. And I thought, I'm missing something here. I should have a flyer to give them, to tell them about Daily Scandinavian and expats. The same way as if it had been a crypto academy, I would have a flyer. You can't do everything on the internet. You can do something on the internet, but you have to be in the physical world as well. Well, I'm going a little too fast here now. The place. Let's go to the place first. Where do we advertise the academy? The academy is probably on the internet. So where are the channels we can advertise it? Any suggestions from the audience?
On the socials.
Sorry?
On the socials.
Yes. And we have to do the same techniques. I have been criticized many times for writing long sales letters. But I say, there's nothing wrong with long sales letters, only boring ones. I know from own experience and from other experiences that people like to read long stories if they are intrigued, if you can follow the interest.
Can I make it a bit more interactive? So it would be really great if you can grab attention of the people. And if you grab them, they can read really long.
Yes, that's right. So, and I like long stories, not too long, but interesting stories. And that's my profession, actually. I'm a storyteller. The channels for marketing a crypto academy, it is, of course, the internet. If I was hired by you to market it, I would say we need a newsletter, we need a website, we need flyers, we need events. It's a lot of things. Advertising, too expensive, at least in the beginning. Word of mouth, yes. How do we do it? Talk to friends. Multi-level marketing, old-fashioned, doesn't work anymore. We have to do it differently. But in that instance, I think we should have a group of people like Dan is searching, thinking about how to market these events, for instance, the tech meetings. I suppose most of you here are tech people. Am I right? You're tech people, most of you? Yeah. So I'm a little outsider here, but I do my best. So to pricing. How should we price our product? Should it be expensive? Should it be cheap? If we have a low price, we can have more students, but it's more work. If we have a high price, we have fewer students, but more profit. What should we choose? Price is always important. So intermediate price, I have no right or wrong answer to this. It's an experiment. Of course, we want to earn money. We could also have a commission from investments. I think Dan have much more ideas on this than I have. But price is important. It's an issue. Is the market big enough? Yeah, I think.
We need to do a research.
Yeah. If you have an internet site, a website for the academy, we should perhaps have an avatar, a person personalizing the school. He is one of the pupils, telling his experience or her experience, and a figure for all of you who wanted to go to this college or academy, saying, oh, this is great. It's Liza or it's Peter, doesn't matter, but it's a role model for the academy. Very important. So we have to know who is the audience, who are the students. And then the role model is one of them. We have written so much then.
I'm sorry. There's been expansion to this model lately from 4 to 7, so I had to include it. But the thought is that there's extra things. Oh yeah, that's the sum up. You need some extra things in the modern world to be competitive.
So we have touched product, promotion, price, and place. I think that's the most important thing to concentrate on. Let's start again with product and academy. From an academy, it could be teaching, but it could also be investing in the second phase. Start with an academy, and there come side products, like Daily Scandinavian has become expats in Scandinavia, concentrating on that now. And the next step from that is a travel agency, exploring the world.
Can I roll a little bit back? Because I think you have not told us about your Daily Scandinavian project, how it evolved through time and how it experienced, like, what is your visitors, how, like, something about it, you know, something tangible about it that maybe you would like to share.
Yes, thank you for asking. When I started 10 years ago, it's all in English, and I wanted to promote Scandinavia, as I told you, and 33% of my readers are from US. The second group is Scandinavians, and then comes Great Britain. It's because of the language, of course. It's all in English. And when I write about history, especially on Vikings, I see the interest grows. There's many readers like history. But I have noticed when I wrote about expats, which is a smaller group, that's the first time I've been on the first page in Google search, because the competition is lower. So that's interesting. So it proves that the strategy of going towards the expats is, I think, the right direction to go. Was that what you wanted me to?
Yes, absolutely.
And to promote it, I want to do it with a newsletter. And with the newsletter, I want to inform all the things I said, the 3 I's: interest, information, inspiration, and integration. When it comes to integration, the newsletter should tell about events, where to go, what to experience, how to find other expats communities. I have talked to quite a lot of people lately, and they tell me Norwegians are not so open-minded, they are difficult to be friends with. They are actually not, but it takes time. And this is what we have to talk about. To integrate people, we must welcome them. We must, cultural differences, of course there are. Are most of you Norwegians here? No, no. So am I right in my claims? Are Norwegian difficult? Yeah, we are. Do we have to do something with it? Yes. Can we do it? I'm an optimist. I think we can. So that's why I'm here, to be integrated with you and to integrate you all. So that's my message today. I hope time is too short. We have to do the best out of it, and we have to enjoy life and benefit from our possibilities. I think that's what I need to say today.
Can you show your last slide? I think there's...
Yeah, there's many more slides, I think.
Not a lot.
But it's too much for an evening.
Yeah, you can skip this one. Yeah, this one. So I was hoping to show your URL so people can visit and see.
Once again?
The URL for your website.
Yeah.
It's there, yes.
So please go visit me. Come with comments. I have a contact form. You're welcome to come with ideas to help me promote Daily Scandinavian and expats in Scandinavia. You can go to expatinscandinavia.com. You come to the same site. Or Daily Scandinavian.
You know, but if you would have a cocktail form, then you might have even more subscribers and participants.
Yeah.
So that's a good idea. That's a good...
Did you get some ideas now?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right away.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Tor. So we have a slight change of schedule, so I will go on right away with the crypto speech. So if you would like to have some insights on the crypto market, stay with us. Maybe I wait for Ida to come back and then we start, hopefully. So it just will take 1 minute for me to switch the slides and then we will continue. While I'm doing this, I will tell you a story. There was like idea of mine that this process is really messy, like not only right now, but in general, right? If you go to a lot of conferences, you'll probably see that people doing what I'm doing right now. And that's like kind of struggling process. And couldn't it be improved? And I feel it definitely could be improved. And I actually get an idea what to do with it. And I never happened to like make it, but I think this idea is still really like feasible, so to say. And the idea was to make a Linux distro. So basically a Linux distro with a USB flash that you have 2 flash drives or 1 flash drive, doesn't matter. You can have 2, let's say 1 with the distro and another one with your presentation only on it, and then you insert both of them and you start the machine and it boots right into the presentation without all this stuff. So basically most of these places are set up like this, right, with 2 screens. So most of the time it would work right out of the box, and if you have a special location with a different sort of setup, you can configure in a file on a flash drive and then it would work. So it is possible to do it, and I actually seen projects like that, but I don't see them like used a lot, unfortunately. And hopefully we'll see more of them happening. And right now, let me just do this so I can see what I am doing. Yes. Hooray. Cool. Where's Clicker, by the way? Is it here? Oh, yes, it's hiding. Okay, so let's continue and let's see if the clicker works. Yes. So I came up with this idea of this presentation, and I think that is somewhat valuable, right, and interesting to talk about. And that's going to be top 10 questions that you have about crypto and you are afraid to ask, basically. So I'm not sure if these are exactly the questions you would ask. So I would like to let me know in the end if you have any extra questions, and I would be happy to answer them right away on the spot, or if not, answer them later maybe as well. But at least I've built this list of the questions that I think most of them are valuable. Can you read through this list and say if you feel you are interested in some of them? How do you think? Is there anyone who can say that something is interesting? Okay, I see some hands, that's great. So basically, I'll go quickly as I have plenty of slides here. And I'm just going to start right away with BTC halving. I'm not going to talk about myself. I already said that. I'm done. I'm hosting these events. I don't know if I said that this time, but you might have remembered me by now. So I'm not going to talk a lot about myself, and I'm just going to go right away to the questions. So BTC halving, you know, it is happening in how many hours? 6 or so? It happens this night at about 4, 5, or 6 Central European time. And what is it? Basically, the mining reward will be slashed by half. And that's the years how it's going to be slashed in the future. That's right now. So right now it's 6 Bitcoins for miners on each block, and then it's going to go to 3. And that means that basically you get less coins for the same amount of work. So no miners want this to happen. So, I mean, that's going to happen anyways because it's coded in the blockchain. But the miners doesn't really want it. So that is one of the drivers of the crypto grow. I want to mention, of course, that this driver is not the only driver, and that this driver will not happen overnight, instantly, right? It will take some time, and actually usually during this time, halving, the Bitcoin will drop just by a little bit for some time, maybe a couple of months or so, or maybe less, and then it will start growing, and the next cycle comes, and each new cycle, if you've seen the cycles, will be higher. Basically, speaking about the cycles, this model that you see on the screen, or at least the name of the model, stock to flow, this model is very popular, and you might have seen it before. And it suggests that with higher S to F ratios, so basically the assets grow in value because of their scarcity, right? If to simply put this model. But this model, basically this line here is this model. There's like a lot of clever math behind this model, or not super clever actually, average math, let's say it's this way. But it takes some time to build up this model, but basically people build it, I think, around 2018 when this model appeared. And as you can see, this in the light here in different colors, it's the actual rate of Bitcoin. And then this line is basically representing the model. So as you can see, the model is always, and this is the difference one way or the other. So as you can see, the model is very, very much in a good shape. And right here we have 2016, and this is, by the way, this is logarithmic. This is not a normal scale, this is logarithmic. So you see 10K here, 100 and 1 million. So this is all like 650,000 or something. So right now we are on the verge in here. We just passed the model with 70K or so, but basically we are expecting it to grow to at least hundreds of thousands US per Bitcoin, or millions of NOKs, right? And then beyond that, actually up to $1 million or 10 million NOKs later in a couple of years. So is it a good investment? Is it too late? I wouldn't say so. And I think you understand what I mean. And here is like another institute that did this calculation themselves, and basically on a similar model. And you can see that by December 25, so slightly more like 1.5 years, it should be about 200% growth. So can you expect this amount of money from your banks? No. From gold? Probably not. From, I don't know, where could you get this amount of money? Maybe stock market, but I'm not concerned about, I'm a little bit concerned actually about stock market. I'm not sure if you can get this. If you're a really good trader, maybe you can. Or if you're like a huge pension fund. But other than that, probably really hard. But basically, that's what I said before, so you should always consider that it's not going to happen overnight, so it's going to take some time, but it is still a good time to enter the market. It's still not too expensive, it's still sort of affordable, and if you don't want to buy one Bitcoin, maybe just buy some other stuff like one Ethereum or something, or several, depending on how much you want to invest. But I think it's always good to have some crypto, different crypto, just like diversify, right? Diversify and save in a different money, basically. Is there any network engineers in this room? This is like a second question. It's going to be about blockchain layers. Network engineers? No? No? Okay, so now I'm not going to stay long on this side. If you would be a network engineer, you would know what is this about. But simply put, this is about layers. So if we are speaking about networks, there is like a physical layer, and then above the physical layer, there's like several other layers, like data link layer, network layer, transport layer, and so on. And every time you access whatever, you access like our website, and it goes like that, and then it goes back and forth. And this is very similar to what is actually blockchain layers. The only problem with blockchain layers, this model is made by Institute of Standards and stuff. This one is not. So I just want to let you know, so this is not very stabilized, and this is not going to be exactly as exact as OCI model, but Open Systems Interconnected model, the previous one. But it can give you an idea. So there's 4 or 5 layers depending on how you look at it. But I would say if we go max, it's up to 5. So we go with layer 0. And layer 0 is basically, well, it depends on the specialist who will say what does it mean, but I would say that it means frameworks. So frameworks, blockchain-less frameworks. So the frameworks that does not care what blockchain you use, and they can be applied on or almost any blockchain. And also it can be a network stack. So like Cosmos and Polkadot, you can perceive them, although they touch different layers, but you can perceive them as layer 0. Okay, so you see some examples here actually, yes. And again, it's a little bit different. Somebody says that miners are layer 0, somebody says the network, but I would say frameworks to develop blockchains are layer 0. Then we go to, and there is actually a slide about layer 0, which I don't remember. So, yes. So basically, as I said, this layer is very not standardized, and we are not uncertain what does it mean. But it exists, and basically it means the underlying of everything, like the basis of everything. Then layer 1. So layer 1 is the actual blockchain. So this is what you want to see. This is what you want to look for. This is like your standard things. When you work with the blockchain or Bitcoin blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, any other physical blockchain that is a separate blockchain on itself, I would not mention here like stuff like Solana because, well, if you know that's what this Solana is, then you know that it's not too far from Ethereum, so I wouldn't call it a separate blockchain, although it is. But it's sort of a really improved fork, so I don't want to go there. But there's like completely different blockchains. Let's say Dogecoin and Bitcoin, they're like completely separate blockchains, although they sort of work on the same mechanism. So in the same way, you can say Solana is also like a separate blockchain. But basically, this is layer 1. This is the simplest to understand, right? Then there's layer 2. So, or actually, maybe the up it goes, the simpler the understanding is. I don't know, you tell me. But I'll try to explain. So layer 2, basically layer 2 solutions, these all layers are built on top of the previous ones. So going about Ethereum, as Ethereum is the easiest sample because Ethereum has so many technologies in it. It has so many projects. It's definitely more than 10,000. Definitely more than 10,000. I'm slightly not certain about 100,000, but more than 10,000, that's for sure. And layer 2, basically, that's the layer that people built when they seen that Ethereum blockchain is really not the best, right? Because it's slow, it's expensive. The same problem as with Bitcoin blockchain. It was a little bit better, but now it's actually worse. I think it's worse. Some people will say that I'm wrong, but the same problem happened when the Ethereum started skyrocketing. The same problem came to Ethereum. So people start thinking, okay, if we have this blockchain on the basis, but we cannot change it because it's like it's set in stone, right? It's a programming code that's running, and doing hard forks is really a bad thing. People don't like hard forks, so we really should not change the code of Bitcoin blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, or a Dogecoin blockchain, or any else. So what do we do if we want to change something, but we don't want to change the underlying layer? So we go to the layer 2, right? Layer 2. So on top of that, so we have like, for example, we have optimistic rollups. We have all these networks here. We have zero knowledge rollups like Polygon and stuff. We have ZK Sync and different other things. We have channels, we have validators, we have sidechains. So we have different technologies that works in conjunction with the main blockchain. So they sort of work on top. Sometimes also like terminology is not super exact, but you can say that they work on top. Then on top of that, so basically the previous layer was like also like a framework layer. So on top of the blockchain, you have a framework that you use to develop your stuff. Now, layer 3 is sort of your things, like your exact projects that you develop, your exact applications, or at least your exact frameworks to develop that application. Maybe Qt could be an example, although Qt is not blockchain based. But basically, it's applications and protocols that build even further. So like with programming languages, if you see like abstraction layers of a programming language, like a binary code, right? And then we have assembler, and then we have like whatever, like C, and then we have JavaScript, and then we have Python. So like abstraction like goes like that. And here we have a similar. So abstraction go high up in the sky, and we get more abstract, we get more, but we also have like, at the same time, we go more abstract, but we also go more concrete. Because if we speak of one of exact projects, then we speak of very concrete source code, right? And then lastly, some people say that layer 3 is the last, but some people say that there is layer 4. And then layer 4 is basically the products, right? The products, like let's say Binance. Well, Binance is a sex, it's a weird example, but it is still an example. And then there's like blockchain.com or any other apps. Then there is like Mither wallet, right? Like the super popular stuff. And then we have hardware, MetaMask, of course, hardware wallets, and different other things. So you see, on top of the Bitcoin layer, we have other like software-defined layers, and then on top of these we have like application layers, and on top of these application layers we have applications. And then below that we also have the network layer, right? So this is very, very similar to OC model, so you might want to look at it if you want to understand better the both networking and also crypto. So it helps a little bit, it's very, very similar. Okay, so simply put, layer 0 is a stack or a framework, a network stack or a framework. Layer 1 is the base blockchain that is powering everything. Layer 2 is your scalability framework that you want to implement to be able to scale things up. Layer 3 is end user frameworks, and then layer 4 is your application itself, right? Of course, this is a little bit not super pooper stable, but it is at least what is used in the Ethereum ecosystem. And in some other ecosystem, there are less layers, or there could be more layers as well. So we're not going to discuss thoroughly, because then it's going to take whole evening. So let's switch to the next question right away. Wallet types. That's a very popular question that I get from a lot of people. So what are the wallet types? First of all, you need to understand that in crypto, unfortunately or fortunately, there is no single concept or no one answer fits all, right? There's many answers. And in this case, there's no difference. There are different types in the different domains. There are several domains of types of wallets. So there's types of types, if you want, right? And then in each type, you have several types. So, or subtypes, if you want. So, for instance, there is custodial versus non-custodial. There's software, there's hardware. There's hot and there's cold. Some of this interconnect, but there's no exact connection, so to say. Basically, custodial wallets, simply put, it is a wallet that you have on your exchange. Let's say it's a Binance wallet, or a wallet, OKX wallet, or any other exchange wallet. That would be a custodial. Why it is custodial? Because there is a custodian that is taking care of your keys. Hopefully, he takes care of your keys. Maybe he doesn't. Then you are not gonna get your money back, I guess. So that's happened with many crypto exchanges throughout the time. So that's why you should not really use centralized exchanges unless you want to get into the market and out from the market. Only for these transactions I would use it, but I would never use it to store huge amounts of crypto. Definitely not for that. Then there's non-custodial wallets, or basically the ones that you have in your own pocket, that you made yourself, that you made on paper, that you made in your brain wallet. It might be anything physical. It might be a software defined, but it should be yours. So you are in possession of your keys. If you back up it, good for you. If you have not backed it up, and if you lost it, bad for you. You lost all what was in your wallet. So if you're a conscious person, you will be better than banks. If you're not a conscious person, or maybe having some troubles with focusing, then you might be worse than banks. So you decide which way to go, but I would definitely go with larger amounts of money. I would definitely go the second way. Also tax issue. So these are transparent usually for tax services. These are non-transparent. So if you believe in taxes and you think governments are doing good thing, maybe this is for you. If you think governments are doing bad thing, or at least not good enough, then this is for you. And if you think both, then both are for you. But maybe decide which amount of money you want to put where. So, moving on, there are some examples. So, custodial wallets, you have your bank storage, whatever, in sort of building and secret place. So, like this here, an example, right? Like some sort of safe in the bank or something. And then non-custodial, you have your device, or you have your phone, or your paper, or your brain wallet maybe. And then you have different software to generate this basically private keys, to generate private keys, yeah? You can also generate private keys yourself if you are very good at cryptography. And yes, I think I already explained it pretty much, but we also will mention that you can have your wallet on the desktop, you can have your wallet on the mobile, you can have online wallet, which is like sort of a less safe thing. And yes, for hardware wallet, you can have a physical device that will take care of your crypto. There are many different examples, and actually here are some examples. So you've got like MetaMask, which is software-defined wallet, right? You have Exodus and many, many, many others. There's over 1,000 different wallets. About 990 of them or so, I guess, are open source, or either semi-open source or fully open source. And maybe 5 to 10 of them are proprietary, and you decide if you trust this proprietary wallet or not. I would not, personally. And then hardware wallets, the same. Almost all of them are open source, so you can make one on your own. You can make your own Trezor if you want. But it's a little bit tricky, so you can just as well buy the pre-made Trezor if you have money or if you just want. So, right, basically, now speaking about cold and hot wallets. This concept is very, very simple. Basically, if your wallet was created offline on a device that does not have connection to the internet and will never have a connection to internet, or at least you don't plan for it to have a connection to the internet, during that times, while it's not connected to the internet, it is a cold wallet. At the second it connects to the internet, it becomes a hot wallet. So whatever is connected to internet is a hot wallet. You can ask me how you do transactions with a cold wallet if you want to do a transaction. You can do that. It takes several steps. It's a little bit more tricky, it's a little bit less convenient, but it's more safe. So you decide what you want. And then there are some examples. Let's say for cold wallet, there's a nice application called AirGap. If you have two phones, one phone is on the internet and the second phone is not on the internet, that's good for you because then you can install AirGap. There's two different AirGap versions. One you install on the phone with internet, another one you install on the phone without internet, so you copy it through flash drive or wherever you want. And then you use these two phones and the cameras on them and the QR codes to do this safe signing of the transactions. So you can have your cold wallet and still do the transaction sort of quick, not that the same way quick, but sort of quick, in a couple of seconds maybe, or if you get used to it. Or also you have a hot wallets. There's like a lot of them and it's very convenient. You can just use them every day. All right, so move on to the next question. Exchange types. Basically, exchanges exist in several domains as well, but main differentiation between them, luckily, is only one thing. Are they centralized or decentralized? So that's the main thing. And basically, centralized exchange, I already talked a little bit about it. They own you, like they are authority and they own your keys. So they are holding your assets. So if they do something wrong, then maybe you will suffer, maybe not, who knows. And that's centralized exchange for you. And then other than the centralized exchanges, there are decentralized ones. So they have their benefits and their downsides, of course. Some examples are Uniswap, SushiSwap, PancakeSwap, Rango Exchange, so many of them. And actually a lot of them work with thousands of tokens and with crypto as well, thousands of different versions of crypto as well. So you can actually buy a lot of things there. And right now there are already exchanges that are fully functional. So you can make options, you can trade futures, you can even trade futures on Solana nowadays, I think. So basically all of the functionality of centralized exchanges you can have on decentralized. The downside might be commissions for the network. They can be higher or lower. They sometimes can be lower, but usually they're a bit higher. And of course, if you lose your private keys, you lose your money, right? The same as with like your non-custodial wallet. And well, what are other disadvantages? Might be sometimes slower, a little bit finicky, but it gets better every day, and it will get even better. And hopefully, at some time, it overgrows, like let's say Binance or something, but we never know. Of course, Binance have different models as well, so maybe not. But here are some examples with names. So you've got these like very popular exchanges, and you've got Uniswap, SushiSwap, Pancake. There's a Dexes, Curve Finance. I think they changed the name recently, but here is like a sort of symbolic expression how they work. So in decentralized exchange, the difference is that you directly communicate with the second party, right? Or it might be indirectly through the smart contract, but it is through the smart contract, which is set in stone. So it's not direct, but it's almost direct. It's as direct as it can go, I think. Maybe more direct it could go if you directly transfer your funds, but that would be hard to make an exchange out of direct transfers for peer-to-peer exchanges. But DEXs are pretty close to that concept regardless. Then let's move to NFTs. So is anyone owns NFT? Yeah, I see a couple of hands. That's true. That's cool. So basically, people sometimes ask me, are NFTs, do they have any value or not? Can they actually be used in some of activities in real life? And I say yes, there are a lot of ways you can use these NFTs. And actually, they are already getting used in games, in ticketing, and in actually supply chain management. It's only earlier times, of course, and it's only growing, but they are definitely getting there, and there's like some extra things that you can do with them, and I think it will be only more and more. So I think there is certain use cases for them, although I would love to see it grow, and I would also love to see some maybe different approaches to this, maybe not non-fungible token, but something in the middle between NFT and, let's say, like a classical money, like physical money. But we will see if that's gonna even happen. That's just my thought in my mind. Okay, so just as some nice images so you can see an examples of some tickets, collections on Reddit. You know, you can buy game skins or whatever game elements that you can use in the game, in VR mostly, and you can get some songs, NFTs with songs actually. There is already a way to track your goods that you produce. You can actually do that through the blockchain with using NFTs as an ID on a bottle. So that's kind of nice, and there's going to be more. And of course, a lot of these things you could do without NFT, but I think that just adds a little bit extra interesting thing, and also a little bit extra something that you can sell if you want to. So it makes a new market. Do we need this market? I don't know, it's a hard question, but I think it's an interesting market to follow up on, okay? So going to the next question, while a lot of people say they find a lot interesting projects in crypto, and what do you do with them? How do you figure out that they are good or bad? How do you work with these projects, right? So there's a thing called do your own research, or DOR. So in this concept, basically, first thing you need to do is you need to decide how important are we speaking right now, right? Are we speaking about some fun project that you want to try, or are we speaking about some serious project that you want to invest in, or something in the middle? So you decide upon that. I just took some random numbers saying $100, or you can say 1,000 NOKs, 10,000 NOKs, and 100,000 NOKs, right? So, and this I would make a tiers, like small, medium, and high tier. So then when you get decided on your tier for that particular project, and you do it out of your decisions. Are you going to go risk investment? Are you going to go medium investment? How many money you've got? What do you want to do, basically? So you decide on that. You need to come on with a solution. If you don't know, maybe go medium. And then after you did that, let's start with a small one, right? So basically this list is always the same. It's always the same, and it's about these 10 points, right? So you define your goals. What do you want to do by joining this project? What you want to achieve, what you want to reach with it. So you read about the project, you read the white paper, you read, at least you read them, okay, this is probably, maybe you shouldn't, sorry, this is $100, so forget about white paper, read their website, okay? Do a grandma check. What does it mean, grandma check? It means you talk to your grandma and you say, okay, grandma, this is what the project does. And then you ask her to retell you what she get. And if she retells it correctly, then it passes the grandma check. So you do the grandma check. If maybe with $100 again, you don't need to do that, but you can do it. You assess the team, you just look quickly through the team. Then you evaluate the technology, you try to understand what they're doing. Are they doing it right? You look at the community. Is there any community out there, at least a little bit? Look at the roadmap. Is there a roadmap? Okay. And then you look at the competition, if there is a market for what they're doing. Consider risks and challenges and seek independent opinions, of course, if needed. Again, for this investment, maybe you don't need all of this, but it's good to do that regardless. And then after that, you make an informed decision. After these 9 points, your decision is informed, right? So I would say if this is a light version, it should take really 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour. If you're really, really quick, 5 minutes, maybe on Solana with meme coins, you want 5 minutes, right? But with everything else, you maybe want 30 minutes or an hour. That's it. So this is this is very chaotic way, right? So you don't need really strict control. It's $100 if you lost them. Well, bad for you, but it's not the end of the world. So what do we do next? What if we want to go with medium? Well, we do the same things. What is the difference? Well, we do it more consciously. And then it takes several days instead of several minutes. You pause, you do it next day again. You also ask a friend to join your research. And you ask, do you believe this project is interesting? You can ask multiple friends. And then you make an even more informed decision, right? And also, you can choose the timing. You make your own plan, you make your own scoring system, and you try to follow it, you make your own plan. So maybe you make 1 week to research on that project and decide if you're going to invest $1,000 in it or not, right? So, moving on to high tier. What if we want to invest a lot of money? Let's say we have $100,000. No way I would recommend to invest $100,000 in one crypto project. No way. Maybe only in Bitcoin, but in Ethereum, nothing else. But what if you want to invest 100,000? Okay, you split it to 10 baskets, right? Then you have 10 baskets. Then you do this 10 times. It's a lot, yes. It takes months, yes. But you can do it in parallel. So 3 hours in a day. 1 hour you research on one project, second hour on the second, third hour on the third. Then you forget it for 1 week. Then next week you repeat. And the week after that, you switch to the next piece of the project. So if you have a lot more money than 10,000, let's say. Right, so you do that one by one, and then you return to some project that you like the most. And then out of these 10 projects, maybe you go with 6 because you don't like the other 4. Or you even go with 3, and then you put 33 if you have 100,000, you put 33 in each, so on and so forth. I would say several months. You need to do a research several months. Or you can also look, if the project was alive for several months, several years maybe. A lot of these projects are over 10 years old. Is it on 10 years? What was happening 10 years? What was the price of the token? What was happening in the team? How many people are there now? So you do all these steps and you do them consciously because you have a lot of money to invest, right? The more money you invest, the more time you spend. And then out of this, you get a really good results. So this is a DYOR procedure for you. So do your own research, and this is very important. You will see this abbreviation a lot if you read about crypto, and that's a good thing. And summing it up in one nice slide, right? So small, medium, large, you choose your baskets, you choose your risk levels, and then you go with some mix-up of these, maybe small, maybe medium, maybe large. I would probably most of the time go medium. But it's up to you. You can also talk to AI. AIs are really good, especially if they are updated, are really good at summing up things for you. So if you want to save a lot of time, you can ask AI, hey, Cardano, what is Cardano? How long is Cardano existing? You can also check afterwards on a separate website, but it's much easier for you to ask AI, write me a small 2 pages, maybe 1 page about Cardano, then you read it. And then you also go to a couple of websites and check that. It saves a lot of time, trust me. Or you can ask a friend, but it's going to be messy like me, and it's not going to be structured well. So if you talk to AI and you ask AI, make a very structured thing, it will do it for you. So yeah, for AI, it's a bit easier. All right, going closer to the end of my presentation here. Moving to the mining. So people are still asking, is mining feasible? Is it still profitable? Is it a good thing to do? And a lot of people also have this ecological concerns that I hope I'm not going to forget to return to later. So basically, there are many other ways than mining that are close, though, to mining to get crypto. There's not only mining, but of course, mining is like the most straightforward, basically printing new tokens, printing new money. It's the most straightforward way. And I would say of course, take it with a large grain of salt, but I would say it's still good and it will probably always be good. So, but again, it's a business that you need to consciously research. Do your own research on that. I'm going to explain a little bit more. But if you are uncertain about mining, you can also go with other things. So you can be supporting the network. You can be participating in voting. You can do yield farming. You can do just staking. You can, if you're uncertain about all that stuff that I just said, you can just go hodling, right? Just hodling or holding. So just a classical investing. Buy Bitcoins and forget about it for a couple of years, and then you're good to go. So just make sure to make backups of your cold wallet if you have a cold wallet. And also airdrops. Airdrops sometimes can be really good. In my life, I get, I think at least 3 airdrops of over $4,000 or $5,000. And that's for me doing either nothing or almost nothing. So, but I would say that I have a lot of active social accounts. Yes, I have a GitHub that I put some stuff on. So you might have it or you might not, but if you are hunting for them, if you have a good socials, if you have some interactions, you can get a good airdrops as well. So not only mining, but yet again, let's go back to mining. So in general, All of these points are usually profitable to some extent, but you need to do your own research. You need always to do your own research. And speaking about mining, what you can do with mining. If you decide to go this mining path, and if you have some excess, maybe electricity, I'll return to that later. So let's start with types of mining. I'm not going to go too deep in this, but CPU, GPU, ASICs, and FPGA, and there are other types. What they are. So CPU mining, I'm supposing, who understands what does this slide means? Not everybody, so let's stay a little bit longer here. So CPU is when you mine on your processor, on your main processor, on your laptop, in your phone, wherever the CPU is, right? GPU is the same, but GPU have very, much weaker processor, but it has a lot of cores, like thousands of cores. So like 1,000 very weak, like you have 1,000 ants that are building something for you. So this is your GPU. So this is used for a different mining of different coins, basically. CPU is one type of coins, GPU is a different types of coins. Then there's ASICs. So when Bitcoin started, there was no second, third, fourth, or fifth. It was only number one. But then it evolved and people started mining Bitcoin on the GPU at some point. Yeah, I think there was that point in time. And but basically, it depends on the algorithm and if the GPU can handle the algorithm that is underlying on the blockchain. If it does, then it's a good thing to mine on the GPU. You can right now even mine on any of this. You can mine Bitcoin. The question is, are you going to get profitable? But if you have a free electricity, all of this will be profitable. So, or cheap enough. But of course, it's better to mine Bitcoin nowadays with ASICs, because what ASICs is a special device made for mining. So it's not a CPU, because CPU is general purpose, not a GPU, because GPU is general purpose. CPU work with many programs, GPU would work with many programs, with games, with mathematical suites, whatever. So ASICs work with only one thing. So it's like a calculator, really fast calculator. But it only knows how to add things up. It can only add things up, nothing else, only addition. Nothing else will work. So of course, in the real world, ASICs doesn't do addition. It does do a little bit more complex than that, but the general idea is like that. So if you put some other data, you ask it to do other operation, it cannot do it. But your CPU and your GPU can do all types of operations. Dividing, multiplying, whatever, any sort of logarithmic operations, any sort of operations, exponentials, and so on. FPGA, it's like something in between, because ASIC is like a chip that is pre-made, but FPGA is also a chip that is pre-made, but you can a little bit tweak architecture of this chip. So you can say, okay, you have 10 cores. No, you have 100 cores. You have 100 cores, each core does this operation and that. So it's like sort of between software and hardware. It's right in the middle between software and hardware. Sometimes they are better for some coins, so you can also use FPGAs. The problem with FPGAs, they're very expensive. Just like GPUs are, just like ASIC is. So everything is expensive nowadays. Maybe CPUs are pretty cheap. And also some GPUs are cheap, but the ones that are used in mining are not, okay? So this is like the timeline, how it went, sort of. So now in Bitcoin, you only have ASICs. You can still mine on CPU, but you will not earn almost anything. So you should go with ASICs, but so you should buy a separate device for that. And you need to follow the market, of course, if you're going to mine, but that's like a completely separate topic. But now I have a little quiz for you here, guys. Just shout out loud. Who knows what these rigs are, what they are? Is this a GPU? Is it a CPU? Is that a FPGA or is it an ASIC? Okay, let's go with the easier one. Let's go with this one. Just shout out your idea, random. That's correct. This is GPU. So we remove the GPU. This one is the weirdest. Correct. This is FPGA. It actually says Xilix in here. So these ones, correct. These are ASICs and these are CPUs. And well, you don't see anything. It's just motherboards because the CPUs are on motherboards. You don't need almost anything else, a little bit of RAM. So these are stuff that you can buy for mining. And obviously, all of these have different footprints. You can have one rig, right? One rig in here. This is like a small rig. So you can have a small rig or you can have an entire data center. And it's actually interesting that in Norway now, I think that's like, there was a discussion about this ecological thing and like limiting miners. It's really bad thing actually, limiting miners, because it is organical thing and it actually helps a lot when you have excess of energy. You sell it to like cheaper. But when you sell it cheaper, it kind of diminishes the whole point of making a hydropower plant, right? Norway is 98% hydro, or sort of like that, maybe 96% hydro. So sometimes we have here excess of energy. We want this excess of energy, we want to use it. And trust me, yes, this is not super quick to switch the load, but you can do that pretty quickly. So you can actually put more load on the network and less load. So it actually helps to balance the load, and it helps to increase the price of electricity. For the energy company, it's a good thing. You want to sell your electricity higher, or at least at the normal price. You don't want to sell it in the minus, right? So miners help to equalize market for everyone. So mining is actually good. Of course, I'm not telling about there can be bad mining, like somebody steals electricity from somewhere, does it like unofficially, like secretly. There's a lot of bad examples. But speaking about good examples, when you do it openly, you pay for your electricity, you pay for like your security, you pay for your facility, you do it clearly. You also can do it on green energy, especially with newer coins. They need much less power. So all of the things concerned, I would say actually crypto is good for your ecology. Also, why crypto is good for ecology? Because if we use banking uses servers. Servers uses power. And this power belongs to companies. Companies are not decentralized. Companies are centralized entities. They earn money. We don't want that to happen. We want this money to be spread around the community, right? That's the way. That's the Norwegian way, I think, at least, as I see it. So it's like everybody more equal and everybody more rich. That should be it, right? So then you should go with more mining in different locations. Maybe not large-scale mining, but medium-scale and small-scale. So the new law that they are discussing right now, or did they publish? I'm not yet sure. I think it's going to be bad for miners. They're going to run to maybe Sweden or Iceland or wherever they have a cheap electricity. And it's really bad. Wherever they are banned, it's really bad because this is a good for the grid. This is really good. Because instead of building a lot of lithium-ion power batteries that will store your electricity temporarily, you can right away use it. Why store it if you can use it? Not use all of it, of course, but use a part of it. So, and also, instead of banking, this helps the decentralized networks to sign these transactions. So instead of helping one bank, one company, you are helping the whole humanity. So this is incomparably better. I cannot understand why the government does not understand that. It's like a simple thing. Anyway, let's move on. A little bit more about mining. Speaking about prices, you can go all the way. There's like no limits. There's like some small miners that are really cheap. There are some average miners that are average. There are some very expensive miners, and you can also go with a cheaper miner, but buy a lot of them, right? So, and there are different coins that you can mine. So there's like a whole large area of research. And I would say all types of coins and all blockchains and all types of miners, especially the newer miners that were released last couple of years, they are profitable either at some point or permanently. Usually they are not permanently, but most of the time. So when the market really drops down and the electricity prices really goes up, you might want to pause them for a month or two, then electricity prices drop, and then crypto prices rise, and you turn them back on. That happened many, many times, that people put their equipment like in a backyard or something, and then they realize like after 1 year or two that, well, this equipment actually, every month it can earn me $500 or even more. One before it was earning me $5 and it was making a lot of noise and heat. But you can actually use the heat. You can use the heat to warm water. You can use the heat to warm your house. Or you can just use the heat, save it somewhere in the sand or in the water for your later usage. So you can use it as accumulator. So it actually does not exhaust something that cannot be used. It exhausts something that can be used. So you're wasting electricity, but you're getting crypto and heat. And both crypto and heat you can use. And this is awesome. But you need to build it from the ground up, ideally. So if you build a data center, you need to think, how would you use heat? You would pump this heat to houses. You would heat the houses with this heat. You would pump this heat to metal facility or whatever you're going to do with it. You should not put air conditioners just to put this heat down. It's a stupid thing to do. A lot of data centers still do it because they are afraid of new technology, some of them. So you shouldn't be, if you're building a data center. That is, right? Or a small data room, maybe. So going forwards, future of the crypto. So I would say future of the crypto, for me at least, it's always bright, and it always was bright. So all the down markets for me are opportunities to buy more crypto, and all the rises of the market are opportunities for me to get some extra money and travel a bit more whenever I want to. So the market is actually pretty good if you think about it. If you are not going to go to this market for really short term, it's pretty good. Then again, crypto is the way to program money, right? There's no other way. Well, there's some ways to program money, but they're usually very complicated, and this is a realm of banking. And in banking, to be able to program money, you need a lot of licenses. You need to write on COBOL. Who even know COBOL? What COBOL is? Anyone knows? Yeah, that's like an ancient language, and it's still used in banking. So if you don't want this, you can just do JavaScript, and you just do crypto. Or personally, I don't really like JavaScript, but you can do a lot of different languages. Anyway, so if we look at stock to flow that I showed before, it suggests that we probably are good, right? So do you trust it or not? You decide it yourself. Do you trust me, what I'm saying? You decide it yourself. So some crypto experts saying that market is good. The other crypto experts saying the market is bad. And what I would say, both of them are correct. The ones who are saying the market is bad, probably this is short term. So short-term market probably will be a little bit bad. It will probably a little bit deep right now after this night, today. It will a little bit deep. But I'm feeling that Bitcoin, the most bottom it can go is 52. 52, but more realistically, I think 55, 56, 58 should be the bottom. It touched actually 59 yesterday. I just closed the short on it, so it was a really perfect short. Unfortunately, with a very small amount, but it was still a nice trade. Yes, so you can a little bit short it now, but I think not for a long time. After that, couple of months, it will start growing, most likely over the ATH. It already did it. It will do it again, I think. So most likely we'll go to 100 or hundreds, 130, 140, 150. Thousands per Bitcoin, basically. So I would say probably it's good. Basic income. How do you even do basic income without crypto? There was several projects trying to do that, but if you have crypto, that's already a basis to you. Just to make a smart contract, here you go. You have your basic income. Really easy, really simple. Just put some Ethereum to it. Okay, say everybody gets 1 Ethereum every month. All these people who are in this project. All right, super simple to do. How would you do it with normal cash? Giving cash, giving gold, giving silver, giving kroners. It's a mess. You need like a lot of parties to do that. In Ethereum, you just need one smart contract. We can code it overnight, like 10 minutes. So, and it's done already. You can just take the ready code. So, all of these points are basically telling me, maybe they are telling you as well, that the market is pretty bright. So, there's no real reason to not to be in this market, I think. And yes, going forwards, I think that's almost it. So, what's the best way? You can ask all this what I just said, right? Maybe you want to go deeper into one of these topics, or several of them, or all of them, right? How would you do that? What's the best way? How to obtain information about that? Well, no, I'm just joking. I'm not going to say do your own research and just leave you here. No, of course not. So, what do you do? First of all, you are researching what does really give you an interest. What's your vibe? What your vibe with? Then you take this vibe, you bring it on, and then with this, maybe it's crypto and medicine, I don't know, whatever. And then you look at the companies and startups that are working on that particular thing, right? You can also talk to us. And you also can talk to other people who are doing this meetups, Oslo Blockchain Meetup and all the other meetups, right? You read the researches, you follow the articles, you join the events. And of course, still, this will never go. This is never old, never gets old. Do your own research. Search for red flags. If you see any red flags that are serious enough, don't do it, don't go there. Switch to the next project. If you don't see red flags, or you see yellow flags or only green flags, then do more research. And if you see mostly green flags, maybe you should go with it. So, if you want to learn crypto, if you want to learn which projects to join, which projects not to join, you can do all of these things. And by the way, out of you here, you discussed the Crypto Academy as a concept, right? Like, is it online or offline or hybrid, like this event? How many of you would be interested in such a concept? Yeah, okay, nice, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. That's great. So some people could be interested in that. We are still thinking about it, how to make it. It will take some time to materialize. Yet again, we would need a bit more volunteers to help us with these concepts. But at some point, we will definitely get there. And we will make it either as an online course, videos, or is it offline course. And we are always available to talk on any of the events that we're hosting, after them, on networking, personally, LinkedIn, whatever. So we are totally open. Artem is not here, but he is also pretty open, I am sure. Yes, last thing I want just to mention once again, I have not talked today about open source, but I will roll up this with still talking a little bit about open source. One, green or red flag, you can decide super easily. For me at least, I decide this way. So if you want to be sure that the project can be trusted, you need to check if it does have its own code published. If the code is published and it's fresh and there's a lot of developers working on it, you don't need to understand the code. You just need to check that it is there and it is updated, and there are many people working on it. You don't need any other than general knowledge of English to be able to do that. So you don't go to GitHub page, you look at there's everything written in there. So you look through that, you see a lot of, social attention. That's good. Then it's probably this project is okay, you can trust it. If there is no GitHub, there is no open source code for the project, you might think that it might be a little bit sneaky, it might be bad, it might be just some scam or some rig or rug pull or whatever. So I guess it could be a lot of things to digest or maybe not. It depends on your perception of things. But I will repeat a couple of key takeaways out of this presentation that I took or gave. So halving is tonight. Don't delay too much if you want to join on the train, so to say, right? Every time joining the last cart on the train gets more expensive, so the last train gets more luxury and more luxury, and this time it's still not too luxurious. So you can still join. Next time, let's say Bitcoin at 250 and it grows to million, you will have to invest 250 to buy one. It gets more expensive and get less delta. So this is a good time. If you don't have a lot of money, maybe just get some shitcoins or meme coins or Ethereum or wherever you trust. So always Dior, always do that. NFTs, they could be good, maybe. I'm hoping so. And we are looking to forward to this market to grow more and more because this is a nice thing for artists and developers as well. Mining can be nice, can be profitable, but you need to decide. It is a business project. You need to be very conscious with that business project being a real business project. And basically, that's what I already said. I think that future of the crypto is bright, but everybody separately, you decide how bright it is. Is it bright enough? Is it dark? Is it blackout? Or is it very bright? So it's up to you to decide to look through that. There are a couple of links here. I have not mentioned too much things, but I added a couple of interesting here. So if you have not seen them, you can do a screenshot. This top part until here is about crypto, and this bottom part is about AI and open source. And I think they are very connected, so that's why I put all of them there. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. There is more to that. But basically, I would say these three are the ones that you probably know. If you don't know, you should go to these three websites. You can find any token in there, any coin. They're all listed there. Go through, look at it, when it was created, how much emission and what is the market caps and so on and so forth. Then these last two, DEX Screener and Pump.fun. If you have not a lot of money, or if you want just to play with some money really quickly. So for instance, I don't have a screenshot with that, but you can trust me on that. Just like a couple of days ago, I bought a token called Pixel Vitalik, which was run on Pump.fun. So it was like 1 Solana, so about $150. So I was like, okay, it looks funny. Let's go, let's try it. And I seen no red flags at that time. So okay, I just bought it. And it went down right away. Of course, it did. So it went down like to almost zero. But I was like, okay, now it's zero. Why would I sell? So I didn't. And then it went back to exactly the same level. So I was like, okay, it's like the exact same level, but probably nobody gonna pull it, right? It's like that's gonna dip again, and it's just gonna dip even further, and you're not gonna get money. So I just sold everything back. So I get back almost 99% of what I sent before, so 95% maybe. So I lost a little bit on commissions, but that was fine. But interestingly, I forgot to close the tab. I just forgot to close the tab. So I sold it, but I didn't close the tab. So a couple of days, like 2 days after, I opened the tab, and I seen like 7 Solana. And I was like, meme coin wallet, 7 Solana, like $1,000? What? So like, I would never put $1,000. Well, I would put 1,000 total, but not the one time, right? You would put like 150, then when they're out, you put 150 more, right? In like batches, but it was like right away there. So then I refreshed page and it said 0 because I sold everything. So that was the calculation from before, that if I have not sold what I had before. So it grew up to 7 Solana. So it grew 7 times in 2 days. That coin that I was thinking that gonna die, but it was really nice. I'm super happy that I took this exercise and actually even didn't get any money out of it, because I now know how to research on the communities. And if you do that as well, you will know. You will probably lose 1 or 2 Solana first, then you will do 1 or 2 trades when you get 0, and after that, at some point, you will get to the point when you understand how to read the market. Even with these pump coins, or like shit coins, basically. So people just create them for fun, and 1% of them, so, no, actually, almost all of them shoots, but almost all of them dies right away. And then 1% or 2% of them maybe continue to grow, at some point become real projects, get listed on real exchanges, large exchanges, DEXs, and all of that. And when it happens, and if it happens, and if you happen to have 1 Solana in there, easily I've seen 100 X's. So you get 100 Solana. So instead of $130, you get like several thousands if you convert it back to US. So that's pretty neat, and it's not a lot of money to try. So I think you should try. So that's why I included these 2 websites. Okay, so I'm thinking that's enough for now. And I guess you all a bit tired, and me too. But these are my contacts. And if you don't know them yet, I guess a lot of you do already. But before we wrap this up, I want to ask if you guys have any questions about the presentation, about the market, about completely something else. It can be any question, whatever the question is. So, anyone? Jonathan? Moses? Tor? That's a great question. Thank you. So have I tried, that's for our stream, have I tried arbitrage on Solana? Yes. So I actually, just a couple of days ago, I sent this question to my friend. Do you know automated arbitrage opportunities search engines? Because there's this Rango exchange and this sort of exchanges, that DEX exchanges, right, that allows you to automatically swap one crypto to another through many intermediary parts. And actually, sometimes, if you're lucky, get more money in the out. After you paid all commissions, get more money in the end. And actually, I've seen it many times happening, but you need to be really quick in the market. So I was thinking, isn't there like algorithmical listing of this? So I unfortunately have not found, but the way you can go is there are bots. There are bots, and usually they use triangular exchange. So you would need to set up 3 different wallets with 6 or 10 different coins, so to say, and then you kind of connect them all through the one bot, and this one bot tries to follow the market and tries to keep all the balances grow. And some of them will dip and even go 0, but most of them will grow. So I tried it, yes. It's a lot of setup, and it's a lot of follow-up for this bot, but it does work. It does work, and it gives a couple of percents. But I would say debatable if it's interesting, or if actually the pump fun, or pumping the new coins can be more fun, or even not pump.fun, but real coins that start up, like pre-sale of real coins. I feel a bit more interested, because when I see a new project, I want to do a research. And research, that's what excites me, as you've probably seen on this presentation. So I do a little bit of research, and it's much more fun. Arbitrage feels a little bit like you're doing trading. So I don't do that too much, but you can definitely do it. And in Solana, it is very affordable. So I would be super happy to do it if I would see a website that does all of these automated exchange rates for you and suggests you the best arbitrage opportunities at times. Because there are such websites for normal fiat money. There's like expert, I don't remember right now, but I can come up with this, expert something, that you can see the pairs of normal currencies that are fluctuating, and you can actually swap and gain money out of this arbitrage opportunity. But for DEXs, I have not seen them. They have to be really fast. You have to probably buy a really good server for that, but it is possible. And I think it's what's gonna happen in the DEXs, when the DEXs become really serious. I think that's what they're gonna do. Or maybe they will not do it because they want to keep it on the back end, They want to keep it for themselves. Who knows? But some of them will open source that at some point. I'm pretty certain. And then it would be a really interesting thing to try. Just put, instead of putting to your yield farming or staking, instead you could put to arbitrage wallet and just rotate your money, pay commissions to everyone, so everybody would benefit and grow your asset. This is just awesome. This is maybe even better than mining. So yes, it could be. Any other questions? One more? No? Any question, even if it's not about crypto? Yes? Forex. Yes, I can speak about Forex, of course, why not? I think it is a good field to try, and it is interesting because a lot of patterns that you can see here are also replicated in Forex. And sometimes in Forex you can also get these gains of X's, X2, X3, X5, X10, if you're really lucky. Well, still comparing to crypto for myself, it's a little bit too slow and a little bit too boring. But comparing to, let's say, just the plain trading on like maybe shares or something like that, I don't actually know. So shares and currencies and Forex, sort of, I would always consider them a nice testing site. So you go there, you put $100 there, you play around, you see how the market works, you lose it and you forget it. That's fine. It's experience you learned, paying $100, losing them, super cool experience. Then you go to a different website, you do the same, you lose them again, that's fine. You go to the third website and you stop losing, you start a little bit gaining. Last time I tried trading, as I just mentioned, right? I think I traded 5 times in a row in a different ways, and I get 5 times green trades, and I felt like, okay, I think this is the first time I feel I can actually trade, because before that, the best scenario was green, red, green, red, green, red. It was 50%. But now it's more than that. And when you see that you are over that in Forex or whatnot, then you are getting up to the good trader. A good trader is 60% of the trades are positive. And the best traders are 70 or 80. So you will never be at 100. But when you get to 70 or 80, you can start trading with larger amounts, either on Forex or on crypto. A lot of things are similar. If you want to find crypto that is slower, go Bitcoin or go some slow coins. If you want to find crypto that is faster, go with faster coins, like the shit coins, for instance. If you want to go Forex, go Forex. Forex is, depending on what you trade on Forex, which exchange, to be fair, because there are so many under this term, so many different exchanges and different things. Usually Forex is not too slow, but not too quick. It's something in the middle. But I prefer crypto still. Any other questions, guys? More about Forex? All right, so if no more questions, then I think we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you all for your participation. And one last thing I want to share is that we are not ending this event yet. We will take some time to pack. It will take maybe 15 minutes or so, but we will move to Trekanten, just behind the street there, for a networking session. So if you want to talk to me or to Tor, if I don't know if you're joining, Artem and everybody else, hopefully everybody else, we will be in Trekanten for next 30 minutes or 1 hour or so, right? Yes, so if you want to talk, then come there. And I'll try to promise next time to have background music for our event, because it feels really dark when there is no background music. Thanks for your attention, guys. Hope to see you on the next events.